What's up, fellas? So, had a loyal patron supporter who wanted me to break down handsome man's privilege, right? Because as my patron supporters know, I spoke on somebody had asked me in the comments, AMS, what makes you think that you're gonna be able to succeed in your this new business endeavor? And I basically wrote in the comment, I'm just gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna use handsome man's privilege. And another video, somebody came back and wanted me to explain, like, what do you mean handsome man's privilege? Guys, we don't need no scientific study on this. It means just what it says. Handsome man's privilege. All right? Now, you can say whatever you want to say. I think most of you guys, being honest with yourself, can honestly admit that I'm not a bad looking guy. Don't worry. It don't mean you joining the funny bus or nothing like that, right? It don't mean none of that. It's just, we can be honest and say it. I can be honest and say, Tom Brady is not a bad looking dude. That don't mean I want to get in bed with him. That don't mean anything. You could say it's okay, guy. You ought to have enough, be secure enough in your manhood. You don't got to say a dude look good. Just say, ain't bad looking. That's all, right? That's all it means. So, the case in point being is, I said, I'm going to use handsome man privilege. We ain't got to do no FBI study and go out and get no graphs and put it on the white chalkboard and all this other bullshit. No, we ain't got to do none of that. It means just what it says. I'm going to use my good looks as an advantage. Okay, guys? Somebody I had wrote, I think I said in one of the videos where I was talking about white privilege. And somebody came in the next video and said, while I was saying, if you're black, you got to work harder and stuff like this here. And I think the guy, one of the supporters, maybe he took offense to it or not or whatever, and he wanted me to explain that. And the reason, the thing is, when people hear privilege, they take that as a shot that I didn't got to work, that I didn't have to work for what I have. Privilege just means you have a slight edge. It don't mean it's the end all be all. All right. So just because I'm considered quote unquote handsome, don't mean I can show up somewhere and talk like a damn jackass and have a rap sheet a mile long and can't form a fucking sentence and think that I'm gonna get an advantage just because I'm considered handsome. It just means that all things equal, that can be a separator. Do y'all guys understand that? So the point being is, yes, privilege don't think privilege takes away from things that you accomplish just because you might have had a slight edge. And for all you guys that, what white privilege mean? Well, it just simply means this. As us black people, we have to overcome a stereotype, right? Y'all guys know the stereotype. A lot of people, and not just white people, some black people and other ethnicities too, think of black people because of some of our bad apples, think that we're criminals and think that we're lazy. Y'all know that. I'm not telling y'all guys, I know that a little uncomfortable. Oh my God, he can't say that in public. Well, I said it, goddammit. Right? We got some bad apples that as a black man, I have to overcome those stereotypes of. And guys, don't get me wrong. I've worked with some lazy ass black people. God, Jesus, at that mattress company. Woo, boy. Man, oh man. Woo, boy, I'm working with some lazy ass black people, man. I can't recall too many lazy white people, but I don't work with some. I ain't saying it ain't none, but I don't recall. And I guess that's because I mostly don't work at jobs in the areas where I dealt with black people, right? And so those bad apples, when I come, I get labeled that too. What we think about Mexicans? We all think they work hard. I'm quite sure they got some lazy ones too, but like Mexicans got this, oh, they work 10 times harder, right? Sometimes you have good stereotypes. Sometimes you have bad stereotypes. And so as a black man, you have to understand that some black people done made it hard for us. Bottom fucking line. When you watch the news, who doing most of the violent crime? Black people. So somebody at a job, then when you come out there, they think, oh my God, I hope he's not a criminal. That's the stereotype that we got to overcome, right? It is just what it is. So it's not so much that white people did anything wrong or nothing. It's just that's the stereotype. Yeah, and y'all, for all y'all guys don't know what a stereotype is, it's no different than, the old stereotype that, all white men have small penises or something like that. That's a stereotype as a white man you got to overcome, right? And I don't know if that stereotype still lingers around, but when I was young, that was the thing, right? That would form the BBC, right? Because, white men was considered to have white small penises, right? Y'all guys know that, right? So that's what I mean by stereotypes for the young guys that's watching this that don't know what it means that is something that's perceived that might not necessarily be true, all right? Or somebody is taking some, anecdotal, evidence and using it to generalize, okay? So that's, as a black man, that's what we have to overcome. All right, but I want to speak on exactly how I'm going to use handsome man's privilege to build my business. Number one, guys, sales. This is the bottom line, guys. This is the bottom line. When I go out and I start doing business and I start talking to people about, getting contracts and stuff like this, some of these people are going to be women. This is a new day and age, guys. Men don't own the world like that no more. And when I go out here and deal with some of these women, you're going to be dealing with women who are going to want to do business with you because they're going to be attracted to you. Bottom fucking line. It's no different than when a man is at the control. If you guys ain't got to answer this, just keep it to yourself, right? But let's hypothetically say, for the sake of saying, you own a club. Let's just play along. Just play along. You own a club. You hiring bartenders. You got this super hot woman that come in that you consider a dime. You only got one spot left. And then you got this other woman come in who you consider an 8. Who you hiring? They both got their bartender's license, right? They both got that. They both got good references, background. Both done got some experience. Who you hiring? Exactly. You're going to hire the 10. Why? Because you're more attracted to her. The same thing holds true with women. When I went to the Equinox, now I probably shouldn't say this on video, but I'm going to say it anyway. When I went to the Equinox to apply for the Equinox job, I went up there and girl was working the front desk. The process was for you to fill out the application right there, right? You fill out the application. The girl said, hold on, I'm going to go get the manager for you. That's what she said. She went in there and personally got the manager to come out and take a look at me. I knew then, he took me into his office, then we talked. I still had to go through all the other procedures and stuff like that. But it was really it was like the Rooney Rule, right? It's like, okay, we have to at least look like we trying to have a process. I already knew I was hired from the get-go. And the guys who I was going through the hiring process with, guys, were more qualified, had, a background in fitnesses, had degrees, all this, in fitness, not fitnesses. It had degrees and stuff and everything. And I still knew I was going to get the job because I knew I could tell how she acted to go get him that I was going to get preferential treatment. But I already knew this because I already had got that all my life, guys. I'm going to tell y'all guys, when me and my brothers, so if y'all guys notice, y'all remember I used to tell y'all guys, done told you guys several times, I used to just quit jobs. Did y'all guys ever think to yourself once, wait a minute, how the fuck did you get all these damn jobs? How the hell did you get 8 jobs a year to quit? Because I knew I had handsome men's privilege. I knew that I could go to a job and I knew that I probably would get hired because I'm tall and good looking. And I remember when the procedure started to change at the unemployment office and stuff, where they started wanting you to do stuff online. I remember me and my brother discussing that, damn, that's going to give away our edge because we always like to go to the job and apply because we knew we was tall and we knew we had broad shoulders. We was bigger guys. And so we knew that gave us an edge. We didn't want to do it online. So for all y'all guys that don't think this shit exists, why do you think now as far as white privilege and stuff, why you think now putting race on most applications is optional? Why you think that? Now, it really don't do nothing. I think Jamal gonna give it away, right? I mean, but unless you got one of these, Tyrone, Jerome, Jamal, if you got your name Michael or something like that, then you probably pretty good. But even then, well, not so much now, right? Because people mix better right now, right? But you could tell by the address too, right? But that's why they do that, because there's a privilege there, guys. So, going back to my point on the sales, got a little rant right then, right? What the fuck I was talking about. But anyway, going back to my point, as in with sales or converting leads and stuff like this right here, it's going to help you because people have a tendency to want to do business with people that they probably want to sleep with. I'm just going to tell it like that. Listen, guys, this is the world we live in here. I don't make the rules. This is what we're dealing with. And that's just the way it is. It's not, nobody's going to ever admit that because of discriminatory and stuff like that, discrimination and stuff like that, but it exists. Next, guys, honest and harmless face. Be honest, guys. Looking at the screen right here. If you was walking on the subway and I came up to you and I was trying to sell you something, would you feel like harm's way? Just looking at my face, you see how harmless I look? Now there's a con to that. I'm gonna discuss to that in a minute, but you see how harmless and non-threatening I'm look? Now I do get that there are some rough around the edges looking, good looking people, right? I do get that. I seen some rough looking pookies that are not bad looking, right? So I get that. But by and large, and y'all guys, I don't want to have to keep using the all police. Guys, I already know there's outliers. When I say stuff, I'm just talking about by and large, right? I understand that everything, guys, I hate when I say stuff and then guys go, oh, my uncle, he ain't had a job in 10 years and his wife pay all the bills and she's a dime. Guys, we already know there's always exceptions to the rule. We already know there are people that go to the casino and hit and never have to work again. We do know people win lotteries. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule. There's always going to be somebody that's an outlier to every situation, right? Fucking Muggsy Bogues played in the NBA for a long fucking time, right? I mean, give me Spud Webb won the slam dunk contest, right? I mean, it's always going to be outliers, right? So I don't like when people come with outliers. How many of you if you're a 5'3" guy right now and thinking you probably going to be the next Spud Webb, I mean, you stupid. I mean, that's an outlier. That's what I mean by that, guys. You're never going to probably see a guy 5'7" win the slam dunk contest again, right? Like Spud Webb. I think Muggsy Bogues was like 5'3", 5'5". You're not going to see that again, guys. Or at least for a very long time. So don't give me outliers, all right? So, but going back to my point, typically speaking, a handsome man's privilege, you look harmless and non-threatening, more trustworthy, like an honest face. I do understand you got some rugged looking, good looking people too. I get that, but I'm just talking by and large, right? So I'm easier to build the trust because I look non-threatening. So that's another advantage, especially when you're working in the business world, to have a trustworthy face. Like a lot of times, guys, when these people decide to choose somebody to be the spokesperson for their business or something, a lot of it is just like that face connection. Like, do you look like you have an honest face? Okay, guys, that's what that's about. Now, I want to talk about some cons because to everything, there's pros, but there's also some cons. Number one, as a good looking man, I've always dealt with jealousy all throughout my life. All throughout my life, I've had to, always check guys. Jealousy is always, guys, I'm going to tell you something right now. As a man, you might as well be prepared in your life to deal with jealousy, whether that be from your looks, your financial success, or your success with women. In the words of the great Juvenile, niggas ain't playing no games no more. Niggas will bust your head if you banging hoes. Now that's the words out of Juvenile's mouth off of 400 Degrees. Niggas ain't playing no games no more. Niggas will bust your head if you banging hoes. So you ain't got to be successful. You ain't got to be good looking. Dudes will hate on you just because you got a hot girlfriend. When y'all guys, if any of y'all guys ever had a 9 or a 10 and you had guys try to catcall and this, that, and other, a lot of that shit is just jealousy. I'm just telling you right now, they don't think they gonna get the girl. It's just jealousy. They hate you because you got a bad bitch. That's what that's about. So be prepared to deal with that. As a man, that's your be your. We spend all our time over here harping about female nature this, female nature this. Men ain't fucking that good either, guys. That damn jealousy shit from men is just, it's there. It's just as bad. Next, guys, I feel like I've always gotten tested more than the average dude if I look like this. I've always had to set boundaries most stern, but I've always expected. It's been something I've had to deal with all my life. So as I was saying, as with it, how it helps me with sales as a trustworthy face, a harmless face, well, obviously it invites other guys who think that you're friendly or soft. So that comes with it too. So it's a flip side to that coin. Yes, it works great when you want people to trust you because you got a non-harmless face, but it also causes guys, it makes guys who are predators. You know, some guys got this predator mindset. When I say predators, I'm not talking about with women. I'm talking about the bully mentality, that it makes them think that you won't stand up for yourself and you end up having to show guys more often than not. Okay, guys? As any guy who's considered good looking on here can tell you, I do understand we got some tough looking, good looking guys. I do get that, but I'm just talking about quote unquote the handsome or pretty boys. Y'all know who the fuck I'm talking about. Unless you got some bodies. Having bodies is always the great equalizer. I ain't got no bodies. Right? Yeah, you pop you a couple motherfuckers. Yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want to. You done shot you a couple motherfuckers. Yeah. I'm quite sure I wouldn't been tested either. I shot a couple dudes. Yeah, I'm quite sure too. But that's all I wanted to talk about, guys. Breaking down this handsome man privilege. For that brother that asked me this, don't overthink it and won't. It just simply means that it's favoritism towards good-looking people. That's it. The world ain't fair, but that's the way it is. All right, guys. I'll get back with you guys later.